Okay, see, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You know what? You know what?
You're wrong.
Put your tie-dye poncho back on, California boy.
Yeah, what Tony
Hey,
said.
just cool, chill out, man.
Yeah, you know.
Just
It's all
cool,
good.
chill.
Why don't you just hang 10 right out of this conversation where you're wrong?
It doesn't matter where you're from, man. It just matters where you're going.
Oh, God.
Man.
Can I get out of here?
Got it. I will say,
Dan, is me berating Steve on the live
you are a
stream?
little quiet.
Yeah, probably just about there.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Oh, somebody just went
Thank you.
woo in the chat.
No.
All right. All systems go, or at least one system go.
I mean, they seem a little overly excited for the fact that they're getting audio from us
Dan,
right now.
Dan, do you know why this worked now and didn't work before?
Yeah, it's because of the stuff that partially. I started out with a lot of confidence there, and then halfway through, it was like, actually, I just removed the audio and re-added the audio. So do I know why? No, not really.
Yeah.
Dan, the important thing is that we learned something from the situation. So far, it doesn't seem like we've learned anything yet.
I learned nothing.
No, I've forgotten several things during the course of this.
Should we get started
What are we
before this
doing?
all explodes?
Yep.
It's trivia, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. I'm Dungeon Master Tony Sindelar, and with me are a bunch of people playing D&D on a Saturday night.
It's me, Dan Morin, noted author and raconteur.
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Also here, Jason Snell. You know, me, Jason Snell from Brooklyn. I'm blogging here. I'm gonna get us canceled.
Do me.
I'm Micah Sargent. I'm a nice guy. I talk just normal like.
But somewhat gangstery for no apparent reason.
Yeah, there's a little bit of gangster.
Hey, me and my brother. Is that a problem? All right. Hi,
Do you
Leslie.
ever stop to think about how every decision in your life has led to this moment, and you just like stop for a second?
No.
And you're like, huh,
No.
that's interesting.
You lost me at stop to think.
Okay.
Live stream. We've been trying to get this to work for almost an hour.
It's been a long hour.
It's been a long hour. We've been here. Dan's been here. We were nice to Dan, then we were really mean to Dan. I think we're coming back around to nice again. What do people think? Nope. Steve says no. All
I
right.
haven't decided.
Jury is Dan
Sorry,
still on the
Dan.
call?
Yeah, I'm here.
So-
I'm just
all right,
ignoring
goodness. That's for the best.
Smart. Do that.
We're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons. It's Saturday night here on the bootleg. Is that how we talk on the live stream? Thank you for joining us. If you're watching live stream right now, I don't know, tell your friends or lesser enemies. I don't know. Do people like Dungeons and Dragons? We do. That's why we're here.
Yes.
Unless there's a reason we should not start playing Dungeons and Dragons, we're about to start playing Dungeons and Dragons. This is the part of the podcast where you get to say something mean. All right, no one said anything.
Reference acknowledged.
Wait,
Thank
this
you.
is the part?
Yes.
I was gonna
And
say, or forever hold your peace.
My peace is held.
everything's great.
He's holding his peace. I can see it.
Parts of me are trying to escape from my lungs or into my lungs, but everything is
Into
great.
the woods.
All right.
Rock on tour.
Nobody heard that.
Well, were you watching the live stream, Dan?
I always watch the live stream. I gotta know what's
Okay.
happening.
But what I mean,
It is a good move he is making. It is a necessary
Contour.
move.
all right. I'm not going to do impressions of any of you again.
Is it bad that I have no recollection of anybody saying raconteur earlier?
That was Tony. I definitely remember that.
That was me.
Yeah,
that was my Dan Morin impersonation.
Steve was drunk. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's it.
Guys, I don't think I have any oxygen in my brain. Is that bad? Everything's great.
You do need a little, just a little bit of oxygen in
Trace
there,
elements.
So. Trace.
Hello, nerds, and welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, one of several dungeon masters in the world. We haven't done a count recently. We are rejoining our mini adventures. This is the mini adventure Rosethorn as we continue an exploration in the land home to the town of White Sparrow, and several adventures as collected in the lovely collection Fantastic Adventures as put out by slyflourish.com. Allow me to introduce our players, and they will introduce their characters. First up, God help us, it's Guy English.
Is he he's in a 1920 silent movie?
Dramatic pause.
It's great.
No,
for a
you
podcast.
didn't see the. I was holding up my sign that I keep just for a second. Hi, Tony. It's good to be back.
Hi, Guy. What character are you playing today?
I'm playing Oli McRegent, which is completely distinct from any other character that you may know.
It's true. Next up, it's Dan Morin.
Hello, Tony. I'm so glad we could be here starting on time, as usual. I'm playing Cueris, a bard.
Also joining us, it's Kathy Campbell.
Hello, I am here and I'm ready to play Thamia, a Goliath fighter.
Also joining us, Aline Sims.
Am I though? Yeah, I'm here. Okay. I play Lee, the Air Genasi monk.
Next up, it's Micah Sargent.
Yes, it is. And he plays Linnell, the, hold on, high elf warlock.
Indeed.
Seamless.
And last but not least, it's Steve Lutz.
I understand this is good podcasting.
not a dream.
Hey there, Tony. It's me, Steve Lutz. And
Really
I'm
giving those people with smart speed their money's worth this week.
That's right. I continue to play Diendo Fat Rabbit, who has surprisingly not been killed yet.
Nope.
He is a halfling
I've
monk.
tried real hard.
You have done pretty
Yeah.
close. Yeah, you've almost done it.
So, in our previous sessions in this Rosethorn adventure, you were traveling on the road, as you do. You found a convoy. Convoy? No, it really just one voy. You found a wagon under attack by a bunch
Singular
of goblins.
convoy. Yes.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yep. You fought off the goblins. You made your way to back to the safety of White Sparrow and the gigantic hand that we don't discuss. And did I say White Haven or White Sparrow?
Wait. There's a
You
hand?
got it. You got it.
Okay,
We're
good. You made your way back to the safety of White Sparrow, the giant hand we don't discuss, and have begun a bit of an investigation here. You have conversed with the sheriff about some of the goings-on in and around the land vis-a-vis the safety of the town, and that there apparently have been a number of goblin attacks on wagons, and specifically there have been additional guards have been hired. The Lion Roar Company of Wagon Guards. And though it turns out in some conversations with one Dash Lion Roar, Linnell was able to shake the tree of knowledge, and some clues dropped out of the easily intimidated Dash Lion Roar. So you've survived a goblin assault. You have made it to White Sparrow. You have learned some things, and now we have to figure out what you're going to do next in this adventure, in this investigation, in this mini adventure. Take it away, anybody who's not me.
I suggest we investigate further. This sounds most suspicious.
So there was a dude in the that hangs around the tavern that we were.
You were informed about a somewhat suspicious elf scout named Illendor, who apparently had also been interested in the goblin convoys, but not mayor. There's a mayor, there's a sheriff. The sheriff is, I'm really bad at remembering the sheriff's name. I look it up every time. Ruth Willowmane has mentioned that, yeah, there's an elf scout interested in the caravan, in the wagon protection biz, and interested in taking down these goblins, but mainly seems to just hang around the tavern. And I think the last little piece of information that you got was that Dash Lion Roar was somehow in cahoots with Illendor, and that Illendor is also known to hang around a location known as the Ivy Church. Does that piece in everything that people thought they knew from last time?
For those of us who have been in this area for some time, do we know about the Ivy Church? Is that a place we've come across?
Give me a history check.
Absolutely. That would be history.
Yeah, because I know the.
I rolled a number known as either 9 or 14, depending on which of those.
All right. I'll give you the 14. You've heard that you've heard that the Ivy Church is the kind of the local nickname for an abandoned temple, not too far from here. Probably less than an hour's walk into the wilderness from White.
Guys, I've got an idea for where we could investigate further.
There's
this hand right in the middle of town that I'm curious about.
Yeah, I saw. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. I've got to get back into character. I saw that hand and I was curious.
We have experience with friends of ours that checked out the hand, and they tended to have some very significant.
It gave them headaches.
Yes.
Did you attempt to talk to the hand?
Guys, we've already made all the hand jokes that are
all of the hand jokes
in the previous episodes.
I'm pretty sure we can find some more out of this.
Multiple times. So.
Yeah, do not believe I was making a joke. I can see the point of joke.
If you go up and give it a little kiss, you'll be living hand to mouth.
No.
That's new but awful.
He strums his bagpipes at the end of that.
We can head to this church,
or do we want to talk to Illendor since he's here in town?
Well, he's at the Ivy Church
Tavern
potentially.
There are other avenues for investigation as well. It's up to you. There's a variety of things that you could attempt to learn and then decide where you want to go next. So this is
Illendor Elf is not hanging out at the tavern?
No,
he is known to frequent the tavern, but he is also, according to Dash Lion Roar, they have met up at the Ivy Church.
Okay. Are we currently in the tavern?
You're currently in the tavern.
Okay, so we can see that he's not here.
He is currently not in the room.
Okay, cool.
But is he? Roll investigation.
Roll investigation.
You guys could go check out this Ivy Church thing, and I'll just hang out here in the tavern in case he comes back.
Yeah, and inspect the beer.
Mm-hmm. I'm a brewer, you know.
Check the bottom of every glass.
Yeah, I'll stick at the end though, just to make. I've got his back.
Why don't we all go to the church?
We've got some bear trap related wounds to lick.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Fill up our wooden legs.
Oh God.
Yeah, let's check out the church.
All right.
Why not?
So,
to the church.
I've got a map for you.
We're going to church,
perfect.
people.
This
Take
map
me to
looks like
church.
Isn't this where we were on the?
Working on it.
Dan, what do you do? Do I make lots of noises when you're setting up a live stream?
Yeah,
Shushing? What is
100%.
happening?
Like
Yes.
100,000%.
Oh, well, this is just like that.
Hello, bootleg.
No, I'm a bootleg.
Ooh.
All right.
It's nice of you to talk to me. Nobody ever does, but I've been here all along.
Tony does a lot of talking to the bootleg, to be fair. Oh, sorry, Tony. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. I was having a very different Dungeons and Dragons experience the other day. I was running for an in-person group where I do the thing where I just kind of filibuster until someone interrupts me, which with that group takes about 8 minutes, whereas you guys, it takes negative 8 minutes.
I
don't think either is good. So they're both deeply flawed in their own ways. So
how am I in both of those groups?
I don't know.
Is that you, bootleg? Are you interrupting Tony?
Wouldn't interrupt anybody. I'm just a bootleg.
You get some directions from Sheriff Roof Willowmane, and she points you in the direction of the Ivy Church. It's not too hard to get there. It's kind of in the not too dense woods, not far from town. So you trek across the land there. You manage to not step in any bear traps, so that's
a first.
Miracle.
And you eventually, about an hour and a bit later, arrive near the edge of the Ivy Church. So this is clearly some kind of ancient ruins. There's centuries of overgrown vegetation covering nearly every inch of this ruined stone church or temple. Half the building has collapsed under its own crumbling weight, leaving only two walls and part of a dome ceiling intact. A tall statue of a praying woman stands in front of the church, wrapped with thick, thorny vines. Half her head has been broken off and lies on the ground, staring wistfully up into the sky.
How many fingers are on her hands?
Roll perception.
I got to roll perception to count fingers.
Yeah, I don't.
All right, it's a 20.
Exactly 5, with 100% confidence.
No more, no less.
Yes, yeah.
It's
So
'cause
yeah,
I'm short. I got to jump up to see.
yeah, you gotta jump up 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait, I lost
5.
count. Gotta start again.
Do it again,
Jump
one
it
more
again.
time.
Nope, that's all of them. So, it seems relatively quiet here at the ruins. Dan, would you like to roll to determine the original intent of this structure? Oh, you can't. That was your other
Different
character.
But sure, yeah. What do I roll?
You can't do that.
Oh.
All right, there you are on the map at the ruins of the Ivy Church.
There we are.
Cool.
Oh, I still am.
You may need to scroll to the right.
I may need to scroll to the right. What a thought.
Scroll to the left.
Oh no, says QRS.
Scroll to
This
the
place
right.
has been ruined.
Wow.
Why does this elf guy hang out here? Seems like an odd spot.
Doesn't it? Well, let's see if he's home, shall we? QRS will stride forward towards the church opening.
All right.
Hello, is there anybody around?
Always lead with a bard.
Hello, hello, hello. Echoes back the ruins.
All right, I will step up to the front here and knock on the rock,
There's-
which doesn't work very well.
There's no door to knock upon. There's just a
I'm knocking on the door frame, the whole hello.
All right. No, there's no response. It's quiet. It's peaceful. You hear birds chirping and insects buzzing in the distance.
I will step in. How are the acoustics? How's the
Oh my
bagpipe sound in
God.
here?
I am.
Oh dear.
I am troubled by his quick movements.
Walking at a normal speed. I'm not running into the church or anything.
It's it's cavernous, a little echoey. I don't know, probably not ideal.
So what's inside?
Ruins, Dan. It's a ruined temple. There's not a lot. There's rubble all over the floor. There's kind of the remnants of it, probably
Is
what
this
was an
or
altar.
something? Okay.
Several
Hey, any
ago.
elves in here? Hello? Hello?
Can
There appear to
Linnell-
be approximately 0 elves in here.
Can Linnell roll for investigation to sort of peep around to see if there are any clues about what may be going on in this here situation?
Sure,
If
roll
there's
investigation.
Some sort of tracking or
Any
something.
bear traps in here?
Why don't you
Nope.
find out for us, Diendo?
I mean, if there are, I'll find them.
Sorry, I did that wrong. 17.
All right.
investigation?
And Linnell, could you tell me what in particular you're investigating?
Yeah, I want to see if there's any sort of clues about if the elf is not here, as far as we can tell. If we see any sort of tracks or are there signs of a struggle or
Has there been an
something
elf
to do
here
with
recently?
Door.
yeah, has
All
there
right.
been an elf here recently? Basically, yeah.
I will say you rolled a 17. The ground here is pretty wet. It's been a damp spring here.
Ew, it's a moist elf, the worst
Yeah.
kind.
And it seems like relatively fresh, probably within the last couple of days, boot prints that look like they could belong to an elf coming and going from the main entryway where you're kind of standing around. Somehow QRs did not mess up the prints as he ran ahead at a normal speed. Linnell, you also find as you're poking around, not taking the main trail, but kind of coming up from the woods in a variety of directions into the ruins of the Ivy Church, are lots of goblin footprints coming and going.
Okay, I will go ahead and let the group know. It appears that goblins have recently been here. It may be the case that our elf is either working with these goblins or was kidnapped by them.
Is there any sign of a struggle?
There's no
Yes.
sign of a struggle.
There does not appear to be any sign of a struggle. That said, we have seen these goblins be very crafty, so we cannot entirely put it past them to have, ran away with him.
I'd like to investigate this altar back here.
Okay.
As I go, I would like to check the floor for bear traps.
Are you gonna check them with your feet? Just-
No, I've got a spear that I carry around. with me.
Okay.
Perfect for just such a thing.
All right. You head over to the there's very it's pretty clear of underbrush here inside the ruins of the church. It seems like it would have to be a very fiendishly concealed bear trap or other kind of trap to not be obvious to your little halfling eyes. So you make your way to the altar. The altar is not much more than a big, weather-worn slab of rock. You could say it is rough-hewn. But you wouldn't. You could say that, but you wouldn't.
Okay.
Yep.
There's no sign of any compartments or there's no blood all over the altar.
Do you want to give me a perception check or an investigation
Let me
check?
give you a perception check to see if there's blood all over the altar.
There is not blood all over the altar.
Okay, there's a 21.
All right. So you're poking around, Diendo, and you do find there is not blood all over the altar, but there is kind of a hollow compartment under the altar.
The blood
And
drain.
inside is a bear trap. Oh no!
yeah, your hand comes out. There's just a bear trap on it.
That bear trap is blessed though, so you're okay.
You find kind of a panel on the otherwise very unremarkable looking altar that you think you could open. Do you want to open it?
Do we have any roguish types with us?
I don't think so.
I think I'm the closest, but I don't think I'm that close.
I have advantage on stealth, but I don't think that works for sleight of hand.
I'll just look at
I
this
got sleight of
compartment a bit
hand,
and see if
but-
there's any traps that are obvious.
Yeah, sure. Give me a quick perception check.
You bet. Oh, that's a 7.
Ooh.
It does not seem trapped. It just seems like a very large kind of panel on the back of this altar. It seems like there must be a good sized compartment or hole behind it.
All right, I jam my spear in and wedge it open.
All right. It kind of the back of the altar just kind of flaps off into the dirt, and it looks like someone has stashed a whole bunch of stuff here.
Do tell.
Do you want to read through it with one of your hands? One of your
No,
two hands? that you
I
love?
still have a spear for that.
All right. So you
I'm just
jam
going to
your.
stir like I'm tossing a salad.
All right, okay. You should get some salad tongs, but you jam your spear in there and just kind of poke around it, and a bunch of stuff kind of just tumbles out of this compartment. There's some weapons and armor and basically like a go bag. There's some traveling gear. You're looking at it. It looks like it's a set of elven made leather armor. There's a fancy looking jeweled dagger. There's a hand crossbow and a small pouch of money.
Anything incriminating? Or is this all just some dude's stuff?
Seems like some dude's stuff.
Although one doesn't usually keep a go bag when one is entirely on the up. and up.
Right, with the
Yeah.
I've got one.
jeweled dagger.
In an abandoned church, Dan?
Yes. I mean, no one
Okay.
will find it.
Okay.
Except for a party
I mean-
of adventurers, apparently.
Diendo just did. So,
Oh. He's not long for this earth.
yeah.
Sorry,
he's
what
the
did I say?
Hobbit that proves the rule, yeah. Diendo, do you want to... it seems like some of this stuff might be somewhat valuable.
Well, at the very least, I'm going to fill the bag with rocks and put it back.
Okay. You're going to take the money in it?
Without knowing what this guy's up to, I don't want to take his stuff, but I think it would be funny to hide his stuff and fill his go bag with rocks. I am going to do that.
All right.
I'll put his
Um,
stuff in another bag out back of the church.
Can you put a note in that's like, I'm sorry, your go bag is in another church.
Your go bag went.
All right. Well, some of it would be, I mean, the bag of money you could easily replace with a bag of rocks. It would probably be harder to assemble a collection of rocks that look like a hand crossbow or a set of leather armor. But yeah.
Well, all I need to do, it's not so much the shape and size of the bag, it's just that it's going to be full of rocks when he goes and gets it.
Okay. All right. So you basically put it will be somewhat obvious that things have been messed with, but you leave a collection of sacks of rocks in the secret compartment.
When one has
in
to
this
go,
church.
one doesn't look that closely at one's go bag. One just
Sure.
grabs
Okay.
stuff.
Some of the stuff was not in a bag, to be clear. The crossbow was just there.
Oh,
There seems to be an extra person hanging out at the entrance to this clearing, but I don't know if Thamia necessarily would recognize that, or if that's something that
Looks
Was
like a
meant to be
guard
there.
from the caravan.
yeah.
Wait, where?
the back where we
By the
started.
statue.
Oh, I may have copied and pasted additional people.
It's a ghost
He's
of a guy
still
who died
wandering
in a bear
around
trap.
from like the bear trap. Guys, he's like dragging the bear trap on his
I
leg.
remember
I
that
want to
guy's
get
name.
out of here.
That was Paul. So
Yes.
yeah.
Well, Paul is dead.
Yeah, no, he's fine. He's back at the. He's probably been promoted heavily within the Lion Roar Wagon Guard Company because
He
many of his
survived.
many of his
Everyone else is
coworkers are
dead.
dead, and his employer is complicit in crimes. That's
Yeah.
how you get a promotion, right? When your boss gets arrested.
It just looks like Paul, but he's clearly an imposter.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. So you have found a strange go bag hidden in the altar of the church. There are signs of an elf coming and going and many goblins coming and going. Would you like to do anything else here?
Is there any obvious trail where they are generally heading to, the footprints?
The goblins' footprints are very strange because they seem to kind of depart in all directions. And whereas the elven footprints seem like they came to and from White Sparrow.
Can we tell how long it's been? Roughly? Like
I
a
think-
week, a day, an hour,
Days.
kind of thing? Days, okay.
We can't.
Back to the tavern.
Yeah. Just so we're clear, my dude is just hanging out on Overwatch, basically, because...
Yep.
Yeah.
Doing salmon ladders. Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
All right. Well, it seems we've seen all there is to see. That sounds like the beginning of a song, but it's not.
Yet.
Yeah.
The seeds of inspiration.
Indeed. I start
you.
writing furiously as I. Perhaps this is not the most fruitful line of inquiry. Maybe there is someplace else we could investigate. Or is there anything else we should be looking at here? Can I do a quick circuit of the church and just see if there's anything that we missed?
sure.
All right. So I'll
Okay,
just,
I'll go around the other way.
Okay. And then when they meet the back, Ollie is startled and shoots QRS.
Yeah.
I would like to make a quick effort to cover my tracks,
Oh, smart.
so it's not obvious that I've been in here mucking around with somebody's go bag.
Who
This
was
is not
in
the
here
first go
mucking
bag I've
around
hidden
my
out
go
back
bag?
of a church.
Okay.
Clearly.
Yep, roll twice again. I don't know. Take a pick.
I'm taking the 4 this time, Dan.
All right. Well, the DM gives and the DM takes away.
Yep. Ollie,
so-
do you want to roll a perception check as your
Yeah, I do, which I'm not particularly good at, but why not?
Couldn't do worse than Dan.
Why not?
Yeah, hang on, let me see.
I guess
rolled
we're
a
back to
2.
being mean today.
Could do
Yes,
worse.
we are. Unlikely though. 6.
6.
2 better than Dan, which is how I think of you, guy. 2 better than Dan.
Wow.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Pretty
Sort of.
little bar.
So one thing that I am curious about, and I mention it to everybody else, is that if the goblin tracks are going off in all different directions, are they capable of scrambling down these hills, or is it too steep for somebody to sort of traverse?
Seems like the goblins do not really care about roads or paths and are scrambling up and down the hills, even though it would be much easier to just come up the path that you all came up.
Yeah, okay.
So
So it's not a natural fortification, is what you're telling me.
no,
Like they can, okay.
We also don't.
it's an elevated point. It's a nice place to build a church or a temple.
Sure. Yeah.
Like,
And we
you
know
It's not steep enough to stop anybody coming up if they really
No.
wanted to.
And we know the
Yeah.
goblins have been like raiding. They've been around,
Right.
right? And
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but we don't know. Nobody seems to know where they came from, and they all kind of disappeared into the forest.
They did
Yeah.
Yeah.
in
the
2 different
holes.
directions specifically.
Suspicious. Yeah, they had those tunnel systems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you,
So just to clarify, for the roll of the 4 and 6, you don't see anything else conspicuous as you circle the site looking for things.
Yeah.
Aline, you were saying something.
there's no evidence of a trap door inside,
Nope.
or okay.
You know, it seems like this may have been. I mean, it seems like so far all you know is that this was some kind of meeting site, and perhaps Illendor has some kind of regular meetup with maybe some goblins that does not happen to be occurring right now. But
Is there somewhere we could hide out to see if
They come back.
they come back? Yeah.
How many of us can fit in the compartment under the altar?
I was just
you.
about to ask that.
Not me.
Let's go. We'll go pick up a 6-pack of beer and just stuff Diendo in there, and he's good. Good for a few days.
I would say with all the stuff removed, Diendo and a little bit of gear could fit in there. It would be cramped for a normal sized person.
Well,
Thamia could definitely not fit in there.
We put Ollie on top of the statue, obviously, for a vantage point. And then the rest of us just maybe leave.
Yeah.
I'm kind of okay with that. If you just bring us some beer, I think we'll be fine.
You're on watch. I don't think you get to drink beer while you're on watch.
I've got brewing supplies with me. I could just make us some while we're waiting.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah.
Is that how long it takes to brew things? Short rest.
The way halfling monks do it is.
No, it's just so let it set out. It's kind of like room temperature activating.
More or less.
Okay. It's up to you. You could hang out here for quite some times. Could be hours, could be days before the next meeting. You could go somewhere else and return here. I don't know what you want to do.
Well, if he hasn't been here for a couple of days, it seems like a bad idea to sit around here for a couple of days before he returns.
It would make for a slow-moving adventure.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the best option.
Yeah, especially since we don't have a cell phone.
Although I do like the idea of a guy taking off with his go bag and only discovering several days later that he's carrying around a halfling.
Pops out and punches him in the butt.
Very drunk halfling who then proceeds to punch his butt.
Yeah, I just especially picture it when he like whips out his oh, perhaps you'll feel differently when you see my crossbow, and he's holding a halfling.
And Diendo just says, "Bang, bang, bang."
That's not even the sound a crossbow makes.
It's a British crossbow.
Yeah, it's a British crossbow.
Bang.
Oh my god.
All right, so he's not here.
Oh no.
He's not here. He wasn't at the tavern. We had the company of like itself to potentially investigate, right? Like, is that our other lead?
You could drop by the Lion Roar offices in back in White Sparrow. You had mentioned talking to other merchants. I think there's also the idea that you could potentially visit the site of previous ambushes if you're interested in that.
Oh, I do love a good historical ambush.
You seem interested in knowing more about the goblins. Perhaps there are people that you could learn from that about. You've suggested a lot of ideas. All of them.
None of them good.
Equally good.
They're all kind of.
I mean, most of them are all at White Sparrow, though. So at the very least, I think we're done here.
Where were the ambushes? The other ones that happened, were they on the same road?
They were near White Sparrow. I don't think you know beyond that.
Okay.
Do we have any red twine and some pins?
Yeah.
We always have rope.
Yes. That's nice.
Silken rope, finally. That's all I care about.
All right. So
have we rested, by the way? Have we taken a long rest, or is this still
not yet?
Yeah.
So far, you are just.
What time of day is it?
I think it's mid-afternoon.
All right. I say we go back to town. Maybe we check out the tavern again, like towards dinner time, and then
well, we might as well. In
or
the
stop
meantime,
at
we might as well talk to some merchants.
Yeah.
Okay.
And basically let our injured people become less injured.
Well, we'll do that overnight, I would assume, when we do a long rest.
Okay.
Assuming we survive that long.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to merchants could be extremely dangerous.
All right. And so you make the hour trek back to White Sparrow, having learned some things, but clearly not as much as you actually wanted to know. And so you return to White Sparrow and the hand that we don't talk about. All right. So here is my question for you. You are in the safety of town. I would never do anything to hurt you. Do you want to split up?
Sure.
So is that like the DM guarantee?
Yeah, right? Can we get it in writing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't trust Tony as far as I can throw him.
How far can you throw him?
Well, not at all because of social distancing.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Thanks.
About
Virus.
6 feet.
Yeah.
So wait, are there steps into this hand? Like, can you walk up there?
It looks like there's steps inside the hand.
Yeah.
There are steps going down into the hole the hand emerges from.
Oh,
There have
okay.
been a variety of archaeological expeditions to figure out what the hell is going on with the hand. Those usually end in madness.
Yeah.
So
Glenn's
people
character is
in the
halfway down those
town-
stairs.
The people
The
in
people
the
in the
town
town
don't even
are
know
just
what the
sick of-
hand is for.
they're sick of hearing about the hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we just built
okay.
a town here, look, our grandparents thought this seems like a nice place for a town.
Yeah.
There's a little stream here, and I don't see what the big deal is. We like building our little houses in the shadow of this giant monster magic hand that sticks out
We
of the
believe
earth.
that
Stop
someday
making-
the Lord will reach down and bestow upon the hand a high five.
Well, it'd be a high 6.
So, like, what are you guys from stupid towns that aren't known for anything?
Oh my
Our-
God!
our-
It does have
Yes,
six
100%.
digits.
It does. It
does.
has 6
Yes.
fingers. Yeah.
True.
That's new to
All
me.
right,
I did
That's
so-
not
why I
notice
was
that.
counting the fingers on the
six-fingered
statue.
hand.
How about
Yeah.
a couple, 2 or 3 of us go to talk to the Lion Roar people, and then 2 or 3 go and check with other merchants? How does that sound?
Sounds great.
I'll check the
I
tavern.
was so the reason I was asking about the hand is I thought come evening, if there was a good vantage point, we'd see some fires giving away positions of somebody.
Yeah.
But is that an
We're in
untenable and kind of a silly
town.
plan? Do goblins even build fires?
They might.
Well, and I think they're in tunnels.
They might be far
too.
enough away. They probably live in caves, and
They're
then
definitely
whatnot.
not building
Yeah.
fires in tunnels. That sounds very unsafe.
They're not just building like an
Yeah.
open campfire on the prairie.
Yeah, not to
All
where
right.
we would be
Okay.
able to
So
see.
pointless idea.
I mean, I don't know. I thought that was a very rangery idea. Guys,
Very
so-
rangery.
Yeah.
Good idea, but not
All right.
necessarily for this situation.
So Dan has proposed that some of you perhaps talk to different merchants. I just thought, splitting up gives us a chance for different people to role play.
I'd like to
so
talk
yeah,
to
you-
Natalie Merchant, please.
Natalie Merchant is the merchant who runs the fabric wholesaler in White Sparrow.
Yeah.
She sells fabrics and garments and curtains and whatnot. And yeah, and some of her goods have gone missing. Stephen Merchant across
She
the
employs a lot of maniacs.
is a gem trader and
Tall,
basically-
kind of awkward.
yeah. Dan, slightly British like you.
Yep,
Um,
that's true.
Yep. All right, those are, you know what? Cannon, eat it, Chris. Yeah.
You think
So-
this hurts us more than it hurts you, Tony?
I don't know what pain is anymore.
Okay. All
All
right. So we
right.
got a gem merchant, and we've got
Fabric.
fabric.
Well,
tapestries,
that's
Natalie.
And there was also a general store.
Well,
And then
here we
and
got
surely these are deep entrenched parts of the adventure and not things I'm making up right
we
now.
got 2. We got gem merchant. We got a fabric merchant. We've got the Lion Roar. That's 3 sets of 2 people, basically, right?
I want to go to the Lion Roar.
Okay.
Sorry, Linnell wants to go to the Lion Roar.
Mhm.
Any other
Yeah,
brothers?
Thamia will go with Linnell.
Okay. Do we dare leave Diendo and Ollie on their own
Oh,
to go
God.
investigate something? Or do we
Yes.
need to chaperone them?
Yes,
Is
no.
there a place in
let's
town
do
that
it.
sells bear traps?
All right, Diendo and Ollie.
The general store. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, fine. Diendo and Ollie can go to the general store, and then myself and Lee will talk to Stephen Merchant, the gem trader. You're welcome.
It's Stephen A. Merchant, and also it's Dungeons and Dragons. So his
What's
name
the A
is,
stand
is-
for?
Well, his name is probably like
Stephanos.
STEV apostrophe and so to make it old
And he's
timey.
really annoyed when people don't pronounce it right. It's
Yeah.
Stefan.
All right. By a roll of 1, Dan's group gets to go first.
Oh gosh. Okay.
All right, to the gem merchant.
Okay.
All right. So, there's not White Sparrow, tiny little town here on the frontier. Not a lot of shops, not a lot of houses, not too hard to find the commercial district as it was in White Sparrow. It's literally around the corner from the tavern. And you part ways with your friends as some of you basically head across the street from each other and you go into a lovely little gem store. It's tiny. It's the door is pretty heavily fortified and it doesn't have like a big showcase window, and inside there's kind of a little gnomish man and he says, hello, welcome to Stephen's Gems, please come in. I'm Stephen.
Hello.
I'm merchant.
Thank you so much for having us in your lovely store. My name is Qeris. I'm a local bard of some renown. Perhaps you've heard of me. Of course you have. This is my associate, Lee.
Oh, please. Are you welcome? We get so few travelers here in White Sparrow these days. Perhaps you are here for some gems. Perhaps are you getting married?
Not that I know of. No such luck.
Neither of you? Okay, very well. So Stephen Merchant is he's a gnome, so he's a little short. He's got normal eyes, and he
this is the worst description.
What does that even mean?
Stephen Merchant is a gnome, so he's short and he has normal eyes. Nailed it, Tony.
And he
you painted a real word picture for me.
Look, the joke is that Stephen Merchant has weird eyes.
Yeah.
So, all right. And he is totally not. He is totally he has good skin that has some complexion to it, not like a weird pale British man. Is that what you want to hear?
Yep.
Yeah.
Done.
Stephen Merchant.
Well,
are you going to do a Stephen Merchant accent now?
No, he's a gnome. He's legally distinct. Legally distinct.
So, thank you so much for having us in your shop. Actually, we had some questions for you. We have been looking into ambushes of convoys bearing goods to and from White Sparrow, and wondered if perhaps you had encountered any of this problem, or heard anybody. Yes,
there has been several over the last few months. The voy that was supposed to arrive today hasn't come in, and I have some important goods on that. That really need to come in. Yes, there's been several issues. They say goblins. Me and the other merchants. Well, we've chipped in and have arranged for additional security after the first couple attacks, but so far it does not seem to have done much. Very frustrating.
Have your goods in particular been stolen?
Well, I think they're just hitting just about everybody. I mean, I think they hit the convoys. But seems like whoever's doing it sure loves gems.
I would like to roll some insight on this fella and see. I don't know why it rolls twice every time. It's a mystery.
It thinks you have advantage.
And it does probably think I have advantage. Anyways, so just take the first one, I guess. And
15?
Yeah. Is there any indication that he's being cagey? I felt like I asked, and he said, "Oh, everybody's being hit," which felt weirdly suspicious.
He does not seem like he's being cagey, Dan.
Okay. Alrighty. So,
Cagey Dan, cousin of Steely Dan.
Yeah. Man, how is there not a question about Steely Dan on Dan Conceivable?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Lee, did you have any questions for Stephen A. Merchant?
Can you tell us is there a particular spot where the convoys are being hit, or is it sporadic?
Oh, well, it seems just about everywhere. I mean, there's really only 3 roads that lead into White Sparrow, and I think a convoy's been hit on everywhere. It seems like they know where we're coming and going. It's been convoys both going in and out.
Is it every convoy, or is it just some of them?
It seems like it's about half of them.
And how much has been taken from each of them? Do they just wipe out the entire convoy, or do they only take specific items?
Seems like they take the good stuff.
Who else knows when the convoys are coming in or out?
Well, the Lion Roar wagon guards, of course, they know, and different merchants have different goods on different convoys, so we usually know when they're expected. That's about it, I suppose.
Interesting. Well, that has been most helpful. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. Slow day.
Meanwhile,
somewhere else, next up will be Thamia and Linnell. And where did you go?
Let's have actually Diendo and
trying to avoid that. Diendo and Ollie. You were going to the general store or somewhere else?
Yes.
Where were you going?
I think it was the general store.
All right.
On the way, I pull a bottle with a makeshift cap and hand it over to Ali and say, "Try this. I brewed it myself."
Oh no!
It's a halfling stout.
Take a big swig. Thank him for it, and pocket it.
roll Constitution.
I take
I'm
one
j-
out. I drink it myself, but it's
All right.
it's a halfling Lightfoot, so it's
So
got a lot less calories.
Diendo, I
Uh,
forget if you have been here before. Perhaps some other adventures are familiar.
I don't
with-
think so.
Greyhorn Outfitters is run by Gavin Greyhorn, and it's basically kind of your general store, hardware store, adventuring goods store.
All right.
So, Ollie, you have no significant troubles imbibing the halfling stout.
Yeah,
So,
perfect.
the door.
What do you think?
I think it's great. I think we're going to have
Excellent.
another couple of these because I got a pretty good constitution.
Oh, I got a whole bunch.
Okay, we're going to get ourselves killed.
The little bell over the door dings as you head into Greyhorn Outfitters.
I poke my head inside and say, "We would like to buy a general, please."
Heard that one before. Come on in.
Good. So what kind of goods do I see as we walk around the store?
So this place is just overflowing with stuff. And it's just everything. There's farming equipment, mining equipment, hardware, some basic tools for like crafting. There's some, low-level basic adventuring equipment, rope, all kinds of rope. They got your good rope, they got your fancy rope, and some very basic weapons and armaments. And there's kind of a burly looking guy standing behind the counter. He's got a rather impressive mustache going, little decent amount of gray in it.
I just quietly consult with Diendo, and
That seems unwise.
yeah. What about buying a bunch of rope and securing everything down so that if the goblins want to get stuff, they need to take some time cutting it free?
I mean, I think we all have rope. Everybody's
Yeah.
got like 50 feet
I
of rope in
mean,
their back.
like a lot of rope.
Maybe we should
Uh,
ask this guy about what he knows first.
Hey,
So-
friends. Welcome to Greyhorn Outfitters. I'm Gavin Greyhorn.
Hey, Gav.
Quintown?
Yes, we are. We just arrived this morning, I believe.
Well, welcome to White Sparrow. You look like adventuring types. I can tell you got that blood on your pants.
yeah. Got
Well,
some
that's
rosy-
unrelated.
Yeah. Rosy cheeks going on too at this point. How have the attacks outside of town been affecting your business?
Well, can't say it's been good. Lost a decent amount of cargo. Frankly, I'm thinking about insurance, and that is not something that we adventurers take lightly around here.
Who sells insurance around these parts?
I don't know. I think we might have to make a deal with some of those big city folks.
What do you know about this Illendur that's supposedly dealing with the problem?
I don't think I know him.
Do I think that he does know him? I'll do an insight.
Roll insight.
I've got a decent insight.
Yeah, feel
mine
free.
was not good. It's an 8.
20 plus 2.
Oh,
No. You rolled
Oh,
a
no,
D0.
no,
You
sorry,
rolled
I had
a
it.
roll D0. I was
I
like,
had a typo.
yeah. All right, 16.
16.
You feel relatively confident that he's being straight with you, that he does not know an Ilendar.
Okay. So
But there's, all kinds of adventurers coming through here. Is he's friend of yours?
Not yet.
not yet.
Oh,
We've heard of him and we'd like to chat with him.
We like
Well,
to make
if
friends.
if
and
he's
we've
around
heard
White
that
Sparrow, he
he's a
hasn't been
good
in
one.
here to buy any equipment or anything yet, I suppose.
So he's not a resident here, as far as you know.
I would know him if he was a resident. I've been here for years.
Could we
So
ask
I won't
this-
call it a comeback then.
Mm.
Good. I need a better drinking buddy. Can I ask him to and somehow get word to us if this guy does come by?
Oh, sure. Where would you like me to send word? Maybe the tavern?
Yeah, the tavern or wherever we're gonna stay tonight.
That
that
would be
the
the
tavern?
tavern.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
tavern, yeah.
Options
yeah.
are limited here in White Sparrow.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So I've got a +1 persuasion. I don't know if that is really useful, but
He's a friendly, general store owner. He does.
okay.
Not sure you even have to persuade him. He just
No.
seems like he'll be.
Yeah,
happy.
so okay, so I can just ask him like, hey, just get
Mhm.
word to us at the tavern if you see him.
Oh, okay. What's
Thanks a lot,
it
man.
look like?
Elfie.
He's an elf. Yeah.
You got a little bit more to go on? My wife's an elf.
Whoa.
Oh no.
Rough.
Doesn't probably look like your wife.
I wouldn't think so, friend.
Man, you sent the two dumbest people to go and talk to this guy.
I did point out on a rail tied with 50 feet of silken rope.
So wait, business is being slow. Anybody like the enough guy comes in, or anybody that's sort of new in town, if you can just get word to us at the tavern that somebody's blowing through town, that would be great, because we're trying to get to the bottom of this goblin problem, and we'd like to help you all out. So if you just let us know
about it. Good seeing you.
You'll think about it.
Like,
Okay. Can I intimidate the guy?
Oh my god.
No, it's good. Some of my best friends are elves.
Oh my god.
Okay,
No.
I don't want to intimidate him. Although not until it's the middle
You
of
could
the
try
night and I'm shaking him
persuasion.
awake in his.
You could try
Can
persuasion.
Lee come in and just like grab them both by the ears and like
Lee, at this point, it's probably best not to admit to knowing them.
Good point.
Okay. Anyway, thanks a lot, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
The bell rings as you head out. Meanwhile, at the other group of you, so that was Thamia and Linnell, and remind me where you were heading.
To Lion Shield Banknote.
That's not,
I
That
keep
is
thinking
a-
it every
I keep
single
thinking-
time.
I also keep thinking it every single time. So you head to the Lion Roar Wagon Guard operations.
Do the voice.
They basically have just like a tiny little office. It looks like it was probably somewhat improvised in an empty storefront. They don't even have any kind of like signage or anything out front. But you ask someone for directions and head there. And you step into this building, and it's basically there's a bunch of it's kind of a little bit improvised. It's next to a barn, but it's basically a one big open room. There's kind of a desk set up, kind of like an improvised counter toward the front, with some books there, and a man standing there wearing Lion Roar kind of livery. And there's kind of basically like a bunch of cots and bunk beds in the back that you suspect are where the people sleep when they are not working. And
Okay,
in fact, the only one in here right now is a familiar sight. It's Paul.
As we were walking in, is it Thamia or Thamia? I want to make sure.
Thamia.
Thamia. So Linnell says to Thamia, I believe it is best if I remain as quiet as possible. In the event that I need to use an intimidating move, it is best if I let you control the conversation unless we need to deploy some intimidating tactics. Does that work for you?
Sorry, I'm just picturing the hilarity of the elf looking up at the giant Goliath fighter, being like,
Right.
I'll handle the intimidation.
Yes.
Right.
And Linnell does a complete deadpan.
Love it.
Does that work for you?
I mean, I'm better at intimidating the words, but I'm willing to try anything.
Yes. You seem to be, what do they call it? A bit of a gentle giant.
Yeah. Yeah. As long don't hurt my friends, and then apparently I'm Southern now.
Friends.
Don't hurt my friends, and I'm the gentlest soul in the world. But yeah, we can try using my words. I word good.
One must understand their strengths, and friendliness, frankly, is not mine. I think that this would be best.
I don't understand. There's 6 of you. How are you all unqualified for these things?
And then we go in.
And all right. Yep.
All right.
Paul is surprised to see you. He's standing there kind of at this little improvised desk, poring over a ledger. Oh, hello.
Hi, Paul.
Paul, you saved my life this morning.
We did.
Do you remember that?
Absolutely. That was a great way to start the morning. I'm glad you're looking well. Recovered.
Yeah, I'm really overwhelmed. It's kind of, I don't know if I have a job. My boss is locked up by the sheriff, and she said, make sure nothing goes missing. So I've just been trying to like go over everything here. And it's just a lot. Some of the other guys walked off because they said probably we weren't going to get paid. Some of them are at the tavern. I don't know. Also, like, several people died this morning, and like it seems like there's probably business obligations to that, and I don't know what to do.
Well,
How are
doing great. Thank you so much for asking. It seems like following the orders, make sure nothing goes missing. Have you done like inventory?
Yeah, well, we don't have a lot to inventory, so I've just been looking over this kind of ledger of, payments and expenses, and we got to feed the guys and make sure that the bills get paid by the merchants and that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
Seems like we're doing great.
All of those bills that are getting paid out, do they seem to be to like people that should be paid?
I'll be honest, I am not great at this. More of a letters guy. This seems like a numbers situation. Not sure.
Yeah, but you seem to be reading really great. That's impressive. That's awesome.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of money that comes in from somebody, and like here, like look, and he turns this giant ledger around, and it's like, okay, like here's the money from Stephen Merchant and Natalie Merchant and Gunther, or not Gunther. What was his name?
Merchant.
Gavin.
No.
Gavin.
Here's the money from Gavin, and then there's this other source of money that seems to come in like every month, and it just says I, and I don't know who that is. Is that like
That's Merchant
there's
Ivory.
a hand, but there's not an I, right? Am I right?
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I wonder.
Is there another
That's
merchant?
Illendor.
I
Is
think
there,
Hand and I are in cahoots. They're
there, like-
coordinated.
Is there like an optometrist in town?
But, I don't know. I'm not really from around here. There might be an optometrist.
I don't know. This is weird because he pays a lot, but I don't remember any of that.
Do you know, like, does he pay in person or does he have somebody like drop off?
I mean, I don't know who it is, but it looks like somebody. There's all this money here, and it seems to. I don't get it. It seems like some groups get bonuses and some. I don't know. Like this whole bureaucracy thing is just not my forte.
Oh,
I really think
Paul.
of myself as a guard.
I get it. It can be really hard to like transition into administrative work when you're used to just like hitting things over your head, especially if you have to talk to people instead of just stand and be big. I get it. Yeah.
Did I show you my bear trap scars? He puts his leg on the table. It honestly seems like perhaps he should have received professional medical help.
From outside, you hear "Team Bear Trap."
Yeah. There's just like a lot of mud and leaves packed into the pretty gaping wound in his leg.
Oh yeah, you did a great job on that.
He puts it back down. So.
Is there any like when was the last? Does it say in there when the last payment from I came in?
About a week ago.
Expecting one sometime soon, possibly.
Looking through this, seems like they come in like about a week before each caravan comes in.
Okay, and do you know when the next one is coming in?
Well, I don't know. We had one that was supposed to come in today. There's probably not another one for like a couple weeks or a month even.
Okay, so we're probably not expecting a payment for a little bit of time.
I guess so. I mean, I'm not expecting any payments. I don't understand what the deal is with this.
Yeah.
It seems weird. I don't like it.
That does seem strange. Are there any sort of like addresses or locations associated to the person delivering?
Literally just says the letter I.
Okay.
Like an initial.
Cool.
Which is also a word that starts with I.
Yes.
It might be one.
No,
or
it's
a
got like
lowercase L.
No, it's clearly like,
He's real good at reading, so I'm sure he can tell
it's
what
all
the
scripty.
letter is.
I thought that too.
Yeah. Linnell, do you have any ideas into how we can talk? Any questions that we could ask our buddy Paul here?
I have no questions, but it does appear to be Illendor.
Yes.
Paul.
I didn't see you there. You're very intimidating.
I step out sort of from behind. Although Linnell's pretty tall as a high elf, so I don't know if he's complete, but he's very thin. So
yeah,
it's kind of
hot dog like. Yep.
It's just sort of like it just comes around.
Hello.
We are in the midst of an investigation.
An investigation.
yes, Paul, it would be best if you allow me to finish my sentence. I believe that is the most. Anyway, sorry, I couldn't think of what I was going.
You didn't even finish your sentence.
I couldn't think of what Nell was going to say next, and I got really confused. And it's hard for me to play this character, but I'm doing my best.
You're
Tony.
doing great.
You're doing great. You're doing great. It's all
right,
good.
here we go. We are in the midst of an investigation. Yes, an investigation. Please do not ask that question again. And it is important that we know as much information as possible. You see, it is our goal to help your town because it appears that your town is under attack in a way that leads to less resources for the town. We are here to help you just as much as we are here to help the entire town. But clearly, particularly you, as the sheriff seems to be a little displeased with the job that you have done protecting the wagons. So if there's any other information that you could provide us that you have yet to provide us, now would be the time. It is a waste of time for us.
I have no secrets from you. I promise. Here, take this whole book.
Thank you.
He hands you a large ledger.
Linnell takes the ledger and sort of tries to stuff it under his jacket. And it is a little awkward, so he's just kind of like holding it there. Underneath his cloak, I mean.
You want me to carry that for you?
Actually, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, great.
You're very scary. Is there anything I can tell you that would be in that book?
Is there anything that you can tell me that would not be in that book?
I don't think so. But I'm not sure.
What is your birthstone?
I think it's taupe.
Very good. Taupe? Wait, that's a color.
It's a topal. A topal.
Is it
Topaz?
Topaz, opal.
Hold on. Do I know what my birthstone is? Okay. We're covering important things here. What else can I tell you?
I do want to know your birthstone.
Oh, it's a garnet.
Linnell's eyes go blurry.
Oh no! I mean topaz.
Pupils go away. Oh.
I thought garnet would sound cooler, and I was wrong.
And he just whispers the word topaz, and there's sort of an echo, and that's all that happens.
All right.
And then we're ready to go.
That's quite a skill you have there.
He's letting. So for you all, he was letting his deity, his ancient being that he's made a deal with, know the birthstone of that being, because that's part of the deal that he has struck as he's collecting information about people. So
I like the idea that it was just like his like stupid party trick is I can guess anybody's birthstone once they have told it to me.
in 2 guesses, yeah.
Was to prepare a very nice present for Paul.
That's what Paul might think.
And so the 3 groups reconvene in the street outside the various merchant houses.
Well, so we're not even going to talk to Natalie Merchant? To
compare notes and discuss what you have learned.
She probably wants to thank us.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but I have serious misgivings about the Lion Roar Company's, let us say, forthright dealings in this matter.
Oh, 100%. This inventory thing, we're pretty sure that I stands for Illendor. So he's paying off people.
It makes sense. It sounds like there have been enough attacks on various convoys that everybody in town has been hit, and the only people who seem to know every coming and going of every wagon would be the very people who are hired to guard it.
I believe it would be prudent to show the sheriff this book.
That sounds like a great plan to me.
Yeah. Let's do it.
To the sheriff!
Says, hey, Linnell, you're my friend, right?
What's your birthstone?
Just wondering. I don't know. I don't know when I was born.
Ah, very well. Yes, we are friends.
Cool. Just checking.
Linnell gives you the creeps.
So creepy.
I'm not talking to him.
The highest of elves. All right.
Linnell pops a mint.
Yeah. All right. The sheriff does not have an office per se, but she can frequently be found at the tavern when there is not currently a crime being committed.
If you got to have not an office, the tavern is a pretty good one.
It's pretty great.
And so you find her in her regular corner table in the in the tavern. There's like a nice elk head on the wall. She's sitting there and drinking. It's getting to be early evening at this point.
I think
Hello.
Thamia, yeah.
Didn't think I would see you so soon. It's been what, like 5
6
hours
weeks since you looked at me.
Oh, Linnell.
We discovered, obtained. We obtained some information that about Illendor that we wanted to share with
Possibly.
you.
I think it's fair enough to say we have a lead on what's been happening to these caravans, and we would very much like to discuss this with Illendor.
Well, I can't say I trusted him. He seemed shifty. Not like in an elven way, just he had shifty eyes.
Yeah, Linnell slinks out from behind Thamia again. 50, you say.
But we're unsure where we can find him. We went to the Ivy Church and had no luck locating him. He seemed to have vacated the premises. And other than that, we know he frequents this tavern, but it doesn't appear that he's been here recently either.
Well, I haven't
seen for tracks,
but perhaps you could ask around the tavern, see if anyone else has seen him. I've definitely been keeping my eye out. I have more than my fair share of questions. Anything else I could help you out with?
If you were to find answers to questions such as these, where do you think you would do that? Or perhaps when?
Can you get us a list of the names of the guards?
The Sheriff Ruth Willowmane flips through the ledger that you're holding and points to the list of the guards.
Okay.
Can you tell us how to work this?
Yeah, Sheriff Ruth Willowmane takes through this. She puts little spectacles on her nose and starts flipping through. Oh, a lot of payments from eyes. That's where you're thinking about the whole Illendor situation, right?
Right. Yeah.
And
indeed.
Did you notice that some of the guards are paid like twice as much as all the others?
Yes, we did. Where do they live?
Well,
rather, where in the dead of the night would somebody find them?
I believe they bunk in the storefront rented by the Lion Roar company.
Okay.
Bunk in the storefront, you say. That's not a euphemism.
So you say this is a book, huh?
This is a ledger. Yeah, a lot of money from this eye. Definitely. Wow, yeah. I mean, not that I'm impressed by Paul, but he is not getting paid a fair amount here. Ooh, no, none of the people that died this morning were really getting appropriately compensated compared to the other people. This is amazing. There was the convoy last month that got lost in the swamp. Look at what these people are taking home. This is their best, and they lost the whole convoy in the swamp.
Yes, we were also concerned about that.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely
that
noticed.
You mentioned.
Will they investigate the lost convoy in the swamp? Will they search for Illendor? Will we ever meet Natalie Merchant? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time for Total Party Kill. The end.
These are the days.
That was technically an adventure.
Natalie Merchant, not if she's lucky.
Live stream / bootleg. We're going to take a short break, and then there will be more Dungeons and Dragons. Probably.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
All right.
As long as you call this Dungeons and Dragons, yes.
Yeah.
You guys Hey, live stream. Hey, bootleg recording. We're about to play some more Total Party Kill. We hope you are doing okay or better. So, I'm great at talking.
Yep.
This is I don't know how many hours of podcasting today, but we did a game show earlier today, and now we're doing this. Everything is great. It's all Dan's fault.
Yeah.
Hi, Dan.
Hi.
All right, we're going to start the episode now, unless anyone tells me a good reason not to, especially Dan, who's in charge of streaming stuff. We're good?
Yeah.
We're
Because
good.
it's dumb.
All right.
Is that not good enough?
Welcome back to Total Party Kill, a podcast. I'm Tony Santalar, a Dungeon Master. We are continuing our mini adventure. We're continuing the adventure of Rosethorn in the town of White Sparrow, where our intrepid adventurers are investigating goblin attacks on some caravans, or at least vans. Allow me to introduce our intrepid players, and they will introduce their characters? Yes, they will. First up, it's Micah Sargent.
I play Linnell, a high elf warlock.
Indeed you do. Next up, Steve Lutz.
I play Diendo Fat Rabbit, a high halfling.
You're a low halfling.
I don't know.
Well,
After I've had 3 or 4 stouts, I'm pretty high.
Also joining us, a relative newcomer to Total Party Kill. We are thrilled he's here. It's Guy English.
Oh, I'm shocked to hear you say something nice. I'm playing Ollie McRegent, a fighter who likes to stick things with arrows.
Indeed he does. Also joining us, it's Aline Sims.
I play Lee, the Air Genasi monk.
And also joining us, Kathy Campbell. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, I play Thamia. Pause. A Goliath fighter.
And last but not least, it's Daniel Morin.
It is I, Cueris, the bard that you have dreamed of.
Please see a doctor if you continue to dream of cures. All right, adventurers, you are in the tavern. You have been talking to the sheriff of White Sparrow, piecing together information about what is going on with these goblin raids on these caravans. What is your next step?
Oh, yeah, we should figure that out.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it seems like it's getting late.
it seems
It
like
is
it's
getting
gonna-
late.
I'm
a nap would
pretty
be good.
damaged. I could do with a nap, waking up in the middle of the night and then scaring the bejesus out of somebody.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
dream,
Lodging
isn't
too.
it?
Shall we
Yeah.
call it
The
an
tavern.
early night?
Yeah.
Dungeon Tony, we would like to head to the tavern.
You are already there. Check.
We
Done.
would like to do sleeping in the tavern.
Well,
All right.
perhaps in a room adjacent to the tavern and not in the tavern itself.
Well, it's up.
Depending on your goals for the
Speak
evening.
for yourself.
I've slept in a lot of
I
taverns.
am speaking for myself.
It's you don't have to pay for the table. You have to pay for the room. So it is indeed getting to be the sun is setting on White Sparrow. That the gleam of the sunset is glinting majestically off all 6 fingers of the magic hand we don't talk about. When you see Diendo and Ollie, you see the familiar face of a Gavin Greyhorn poke his head into the tavern and wave at you.
I quickly point at Linnell and I go, "See?
Hmm.
One of my best friends."
Oh, God.
You can see visibly his body language, him sighing across the tavern. He walks quietly across the tavern.
Tiendo, do you know Gavin Greyhorn? I believe we
Oh, we
met
met.
previously. Okay.
I tried to buy a
No.
general from him and he wouldn't sell one to me.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I think that person you were looking for was just in my shop. He bought some bear traps and some hardtack
Oh,
for a
no.
couple days.
Oh no.
Case closed.
How long ago was that?
Just left.
Okay.
We're not getting
I don't know,
any rest.
Diendo. I want to go out and investigate outside of the shop
Absolutely. Let's go.
with my half hit points. I'm pretty sure
All
this is a great idea.
Right.
We should all go.
We're all gonna
Yes.
assist with this.
All right, you pour out of the tavern and into the street. It's pretty quiet.
Not perception, right? Like investigation.
Investigation.
Find
I have.
the feet. The shoe prints?
Find the
Footprints?
feet.
Footprints.
I've got a +1 at investigation, and I've
I've got a +4.
proficiency in it. Oh, okay, go for it.
24. That was a
Yeah.
critical success.
Wow.
I was going to say it's
Awesome.
going to be impossible to see footprints on the busy thoroughfare that is Main Street in White Sparrow. But Micah rolled a critical. Micah, you spy a fresh set of, they're kind of extra muddy. It looks like someone has tracked in some mud from outside town, and they stand out, and they, they're elf footprints. They're a little fancy, a little fancy.
There appears to be some forest loam in these fancy footprints.
Yes.
I believe this is our elf.
They
Did
had
the
no
thing where you like tasted it too. Moss.
That would be illogical.
The footprints head north out of town.
They seem to be heading north out of town.
We shall
we?
go north, I think.
We
Let's
should
go.
also head north
Yeah,
out of town.
I'm definitely
All
going
right.
to follow that guy.
You head north out of town. Linnell continues to follow the footprints expertly.
I would
Linnell,
like to keep an eye out for any bear traps that he might have accidentally dropped.
yeah.
Good idea.
Linnell, it seems pretty likely that these footprints are leading to the Ivy Church.
Ah. Well, let's go to the Ivy Church.
Seems we are merely
right.
too early.
To the church.
All right. The sun isn't setting. It is
Going to
getting,
the
it is
chapel.
solidly dark by the time you arrive at the outskirts of the Ivy Church.
This place again.
Yeah, this place again. Just going to move your tokens down that way.
Don't forget to grab Ollie out
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, I'm trying to find my window.
I was moving you also to cause confusion.
I don't have
that-
a
that
Yeah,
all of
Lee
you?
isn't there.
Where's
Where's
my...
Lee? Lee. I don't understand. Where are you? Hold on.
Is her
know.
token
She's not in the
maybe
turn order
closer to
list
the
either.
like over by the caravans or something?
I wonder if I
I'm-
accidentally deleted it when I
That would
was
never happen.
typing,
All right, there you are.
as you do.
As you do. All right. So the six of you are following the tracks. You are at the edge of the large clearing that has the hill with the Ivy Church in it. What would you like to do next?
I think we'd like to be quiet as we approach.
Absolutely.
How quickly can I get into that secret compartment?
Not that quickly. is what I want to say.
I suppose we should assume that he got here before we did.
It seems very likely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll a stealth check.
Mm-hmm.
23.
I got a
I would-
16 to stealth.
Yeah, I'd like to make a.
I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but
I'm gonna make a
Is-
quiet
Seem to
approach
stealth.
towards the church. Like I'm gonna creep up, and the music's gonna dun 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 dun.
I mean, you're playing that on the bagpipe, dude.
But stealthily,
Can I-
Steve.
Can I
Stealthily.
climb up on the guy's shoulder up here? The statue's shoulder?
The statues. Yeah, I think so. Give me a quick athletics check to climb up there.
Yeah, okay. Let me check what my bonus is here. Athletics +5. Okay. Gotta get better at this. +5.
Okay, let's see if this works.
25.
Ooh, cool.
Wow.
Mm.
All right. Suddenly, like Ollie is standing there, and then he is not there, and you just see kind of like a shadow perched on the shoulder of the statue. Ollie, give me a perception check with advantage from your vantage point.
Perfect.
Mm.
And I whisper to myself, I am the knight.
Yeah.
Too bad my perception stinks, but whatever.
Well, you have advantage, so roll twice, take the higher.
20. Yeah. So 2.
And
Let's
16.
take the
16.
I would take the 16.
Take the
yeah.
16.
I take the
Yeah.
16. Yeah.
Good advice, people.
Pro tip.
So you peer out. It's hard to. It's dark,
Mhm.
and you're looking through the ruins of the Ivy Church, and you do not see anything until just you catch a glint. It's like there's like a small little source of light. You think it might be like someone lighting a pipe that is perched in the church. You can't see the person holding it, but you see just like a glint of and then it goes out as the fire is now inside the pipe.
Okay, I make a little bird sound like the guys on Three Amigos. Caw.
What was that?
Oh,
a
that could
bat?
also be bats. Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Could be a bat. Sounds like a bat.
Yep, thank you. The longest running jokes are the best.
Is my stealth of 23 like close enough to get me sort of like
Yeah,
up
so
to the
Qyaris and
opening
Lee, you rolled really good stealth, so you can move in. Linnell, Thamia, and Diendo, are you guys hanging back for now? Is that your plan?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of hang out because obviously my stealth isn't great, being a gigantic being. So I'm gonna stand kind of at the base of the statue here, kind of watching the aisle thing, even though we know the goblins don't use roads. Just kind of hanging out here.
where they're going.
They don't
going
need
to attempt
goblins.
Yeah.
to stealthily get around to the back of the church.
All right, give me a quick stealth check to do that.
It's a crit. It's 25.
All right, and Linnell, what is your?
Sorry, I did this wrong. Give me 1 second here.
All right.
Can I motion to Lee? Maybe like we should like flank this door. Here, I'll go to
Okay.
this side. You
Hold
take
on, I
my
get to do
spot.
it twice. I got a 12.
All right,
I got
so you're
that.
gonna stealth around too.
I think I want to be up where Lee is. So I don't want to go all the way around to the back.
Oh, okay. So that was like, or Lee or Ollie.
Lee.
Okay. So you head over to the so it sounds like 4 of you are moving in stealthily, some more stealthily than others. Diendo, like people just don't know where you are anymore. You are gone. You are like
they never do.
Yeah.
Was
You
he
are-
ever
you-
really here?
You know, the grass is not high here, but somehow it's high enough to conceal Diendo. He is darting from bush to bush. And Diendo, you are now, if you want to be inside the grounds of the Ivy Church. And you, I think, can probably, now that from inside, make out the silhouette of someone kind of perched, just like they're sitting there waiting on the altar.
That's weird. Waiting for whom?
I don't know.
Man, I hope he's not waiting for us.
I'm not going to answer that question.
Is there going to be a goblin meeting here shortly, I wonder?
Yeah,
But he's
goblins.
just chilling. Is he
Goblins
smoking a pipe?
Anonymous.
Yeah, there's someone, he looks, I'm just going to tell you can only really see his silhouette. He looks, let's just say willowy, and he's smoking a pipe.
All right. I am going to telepathically tell Qyaris, because that's a thing I can do as a ghost something or other halfling. Ghost-wise halfling.
You're a ghost this whole time? Spoilers.
I'm wise to
I
ghosts.
see dead people.
It's all of you.
I'm just going to quickly let Qyaris know that that's what's going on in there. There's a dude sitting
All
there
right.
smoking a pipe and waiting for
All right,
somebody.
Qyaris, you are standing at the edge of a ruined, presumably haunted temple in the middle of the night when a voice inside your head tells you we're not alone.
Yeah, but it speaks like Diendo Fat Rabbit.
We're not alone.
We're not alone.
A telepathic
Whoa.
voice is more like on the quiet store.
In a world where you are not alone.
I
will
love,
make
I
a
love Diendo's classic Seattle accent. It's great.
I will make a complicated series
A
of hand
salad
motions to Lee to like suggest to her that there's someone in there like smoking a pipe.
Like,
Definitely what it looks like.
Lee, it seems like Qyaris is telling you his favorite story about Sherlock Holmes. So,
interesting.
All right. Well, let's see. What do we want to do this guy?
Do we want?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh man, I have only bad ideas.
do it. Bad ideas are the only ideas.
Okay, so the only light from in here is the pipe, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which not a lot of light.
Oh, no, it's not close enough though. I was like, you
I'll
use prestidigitation to snuff out his pipe, but
Ollie,
it only
you
works
can-
within 10
you-
feet.
You can see little like rings of smoke coming up now.
Can disguise self make you a goblin if you're a human?
I believe so. Yeah, it's just got to be the same arrangement of limbs. I think is the main restriction.
So Linnell can, at will, because of his magical warlock ways, use disguise self. So I could go Gobbo, And since he seems to be besties with Gobos, there could be an opportunity to catch him off guard.
Especially if you pair it with Cuaris's ability to also be a goblin.
That's true. I can do that.
Shapeshifter
And
could do.
Diendo is like 80% goblin. So,
Especially with that ghost trait.
yeah.
All right, so Linnell and I maybe exchange a nod.
In fact, I can talk to your brain.
Stop! Everybody, stop talking to my brain.
What do you think about becoming a goblin? I know that you
Says
and I
a
both have the
voice in
ability.
my head.
I know you.
Have
and
you
I
ever
both,
considered?
I know you and I both have the ability to disguise our persons. Give me one single nod if you would be on board with this idea. Okay, there was one nod, and poof, Linnell turns into a goblin, and he sort of cranks down in his goblin form, and
So,
is ready.
Cuaris hears in his head, "Hey, what are you guys talking about?"
Cuaris slightly more theatrical as he sort of raises a hand, brings it down over his face, and his entire height, everything changes. Appearance, voice, etc.
All right.
And
I'm excited to see what's going to happen next.
And then we shall walk in.
walk in.
All right.
Diendo takes a small pouch of popcorn out of his pack.
Yeah.
Can I knock an arrow? Is that an
Yes.
extra action? Okay. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you're gonna. Who is that currently aimed at?
right at the pipe.
Oh,
Right at
you
the
don't
gut.
want to. The goblins would be easier targets. Just, I wanna-
Hey.
Just right,
You know.
just right in a
No,
goblin,
it's
right
good.
in a
This-
goblin butt, just
Yeah.
right there, just for the laughs.
The safety's on. So you know. All right. Cuaris and Linnell, you just wander into the Ivy Church. The figure that you are aware of on the altar kind of jumps to his feet. He is kind of holding a crossbow, which he's kind of like, he's not pointing it at you, but he certainly has it in his hands. He has dropped his pipe, and he's looking at you suspiciously.
Hey,
Who are you?
don't you recognize we're from the Goblin clan?
The goblin gang.
Clan.
Is
I
that
said
like-
clan. I said clan.
I don't.
And
it
I
felt
maybe
very
gang
Lily-
would have been
felt-
better.
Yeah, it felt a
One
little
goblin
Lilliputian to me, but sure.
Aren't we?
Oh god! Oh wow! Usually you guys make it at least 8 seconds
Hold
further
on,
before it
hold
all
on.
falls apart.
Linnell, save me. Linnell, save me.
We have good news. We have just discovered another caravan, one that was not planned or told about. We thought we should let you know.
I'm the one who tells you about the caravans.
Yes, that is
Where's-
usually the case, but not this
Where's
time.
Wiggletoes? Who sent you?
Wiggle toes.
We didn't
Sorry.
have time to talk to Wiggletoes. We wanted to come directly to you. We thought you should know about this caravan.
Don't talk to my wife. Don't talk about my wife like that.
He is the as yet unnamed elf, but probably Illendor. It looks very nervous. He is kind of waving his crossbow around. I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. We had a system. We should not be deviating from the system.
Did you want us to talk to Wiggletoes first? Then the caravan would have already been gone and they would have got the supplies. We thought we should come to you first.
What caravan? Who runs it?
I don't. Did you want me to stop them and ask them? I thought our job was to just steal things off of the caravan.
It was
What
a
route is
secret
it?
caravan from Stephen, the gem merchant, who's tired of getting all his gems stolen.
From Stephen or to Stephen? Talk fast.
From Stephen, of course. Sending
starts
gems to
cranking a
another
crossbow.
city.
I don't like it.
If you don't want the
Ollie,
gems, that's fine. That's more for us. Wiggletoes will be
Ollie,
delighted, I'm sure.
Ollie, give me a quick perception check with advantage from your vantage point.
I love that you say give me a quick check and then I take like 20 minutes typing it out.
Magic editing. Editing.
Perception
Hello, Bootleg.
0. Okay, there we go.
You can roll twice and take the higher. But
Oh,
that's
yeah.
okay.
Dan and I don't get to roll any persuasion checks.
5. I'm liking this vantage point.
Yep. All right. From your vantage point, Ollie, you notice the movement in the underbrush around the site of the Ivy Church. Seems like there's roughly 10 goblins converging on this location. Only you know this.
How far are they?
Maybe 20 or 30 feet.
They move about that far in one round of combat, right? About 30
Yep.
feet?
Yeah, about.
Okay, so they're going to be on top
right.
of everybody within this move.
And I would say at this point, they just seem to be approaching, not, attacking.
Yeah, they're not at
All right.
full clip.
Meanwhile, back in the Ivy Church, who we assume to be Illendar is pacing back and forth, kind of just like, I don't like this. It's not what we agreed to. You're going to get me killed. This is not worth it. Do you even have my cut from the last caravan?
We don't. Wiggle. Wait, what's his name?
Wiggle Toes.
Wiggle Toes has it.
Why isn't Wiggle Toes here? Wiggle Toes is supposed to be here. She's almost late, he says, looking at his
everybody, let's just take a breather here. We tried to tell you what's going on. We came to you because you're the big guy who can help us out with this situation. We thought you'd want to know about the caravan. So we came to you first before we went to talk to Wiggle Toes because she's a little too far away right now.
There is movement by the door at the back, and someone says, I'm right here.
Oh, great. Now we're all in trouble.
All right. There are several goblins that have arrived in a perimeter around the sides of the Ivy Church. Diendo, you are completely unseen because of your amazing stealth check. No one is looking up at the top of a statue that would be really hard to climb. So, Ollie, you're pretty safe. That leaves Lee and Thamia, who may or may not be discovered by the goblins. Lee, Thamia, do you want to hide or do something else that would be some kind of check?
Oh. I think I want to hide to see how things go.
All right.
Yeah, same.
Passive perception of a goblin is 9. Give me a stealth check.
Okay, so I have disadvantage on my thing.
On your stealth check, because you're wearing
stealth?
heavy armor.
Yeah, on my stealth check. Yeah.
I'll say it evens out with you're like hiding behind the statue.
Well, because I still have a +1 with it, so
you just roll twice and take the Normally, if you had disadvantage, you would roll twice and take the lower.
right.
Just roll once. I'd say.
Okay, an 11.
Okay.
I got 10.
All right. Thankfully, the goblins do not expect there to be a bunch more people here. So, one goblin, a goblin woman, has strode into the into the Ivy Church and is looking very confused to see an Elven Ranger and 2 other goblins. She looks at Linnell and Cuaris and says, "Who are you two?" And Illendor says, "They're not with you."
I would like to immediately cast dissonant whispers on the goblin queen lady.
Okay.
So let's see. The target must make a wisdom saving throw and beat 12.
Let's see. Wisdom saving throw. I have rolled a 12. A goblin's wisdom is -1, so it's an 11.
On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction if available to move as far as its speed allows away from me. The creature doesn't move into dangerous ground. Yeah, that's it. So let me roll 3d6, and that is come on 11 damage, and get on out of here, Wiggle Toes.
All right. Wiggle Toes collapses to the ground, grabbing her head, screaming in agony as dissonant whispers take her out. You should all roll initiative.
Oh, she died.
Yeah.
Oh God, she died. Holy moly!
You just dissonantly whispered her to death.
Okay, that's wild.
Wait, so how does anybody around us know that was Linnell's fault?
All they know is that their leader just died screaming.
Well,
so
shouldn't they be like
they're going
descending on her, trying to see what's going on instead of fighting us?
Yeah, they're going to do that in initiative order.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I don't think I'm on the initiative thingy.
Nope.
All right, sorry about that.
Oh, wait, how do I? Okay.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, wait, 19 plus 2.
Dude, you're on fire with the rolls today.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
doing pretty good. Because
Don't jinx it.
Well, it's okay. I've been screwing everything else up, so something's
That's
got to
the
go right.
spirit.
Yeah.
Guy, you should be able to click on the number next to Ollie in the turn order window and just type
Oh, nice.
your,
Awesome.
your new entry
Sometimes it takes a couple of
Thank you.
you've got to do it a
Clicks,
couple of times,
yeah.
but
Yeah. Okay. Wacky, but cool. That's awesome.
there. And let me turn on initiative.
I guess we didn't spend any time before encountering these people trying to decide if we were going to capture anybody or just murder everybody.
No, and we
Correct.
also didn't
Yep.
do any healing.
Correct.
I feel like we could do non-lethal damage on Illindur when the time comes.
It's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm trying to figure out if I shoot him in the face or.
And I will assume
Him
I'm
in
going
the
to just say
face.
Wiggletoes has been mentally incapacitated.
Yeah.
How's
Okay.
that? How's that?
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, it was not Linnell's intention to kill.
Yeah. All right. So let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So there are 10 goblins all around the perimeter of the Ivy Church. They may or may not be aware of all of you, though. Linnell and QRs are disguised as people they don't recognize. I guess Illindor gets to go too, huh? Why not?
I guess.
Can have a name.
Nah.
Just all right.
Range.
Where's my stat block for him? There it is.
Whisper.
Dissonant purr.
All right. Everyone's in there. Everyone, I'm going to sort you. So, Ali, you will be first, followed by Illindar, followed by Goblins, followed by Thamia, Diendo, and Kiaris both rolled 8s, Lee and Linnell. So, Ali, you're up on your statue. You've got an arrow knocked. You know exactly where Illindar is, but you also know where a variety of other targets are around the site.
Okay,
So-
I'm gonna take it on my own initiative to try to keep the goblins away from the main group here.
All
And
right.
I'm gonna select this. I'm gonna fire at this goblin to the furthest lower right here. I'm not sure if I can show you.
That
Yeah.
guy.
That
You
guy.
click and hold. All right,
Oh,
that guy.
okay.
All right. You know from your previous adventures, goblins have armor class of 15, so they're a little tough to hit, and they have less than 10 hit points. So
Yeah.
So some of your better attacks, the goblins will just go down in one hit. So
Yeah,
roll an
that's
attack.
kind of what I'm hoping for. Okay, so rolling an attack with 1d20 plus 6 for my longbow, right?
Mhm.
18.
All right, your arrow flies through the night. A goblin who's just kind of standing around being like, what's going on with my boss, gets an arrow in the neck for how much damage?
1d8 plus 2, 5. Oops.
Okay, for a significant amount of damage. That goblin he's got his hands on his neck as a decent amount of goblin blood is spurting onto the moss around him. He's very badly hurt. All right, Illindor is next. He is freaking out because the only person he knew has hit the ground. He is looking around. Let's see. He's going to fire 2 crossbow attacks at, I think he's just going to go for Linnell and Kiaris, the mysterious goblins he does not care for. So, Kiaris, 9 versus AC, not very intimidating. Linnell, 10 versus AC. So he is just like firing crossbow bolts left and right without doing any hits. let's see. He is going to use a bonus action to hide behind the altar. You are not sure entirely where he is. I don't think any of you have a line of sight on him. He has a cunning action that he has
I
taken.
should be able to see him from here.
Diendo, you probably see him from where you are.
I would
does-
like. Well, okay, we'll wait for my turn.
He attempts to hide from people that he can see and not people that he can't see. All right. So the goblins are next. There are 10 goblins, and they are not sure what to do. This goblin is going to he takes his little short bow and fires an arrow up at Ollie on the statue because you hit him in the neck.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, he rolled really good. 20.
Yeah.
Wow.
5 piercing damage as an arrow hits you in the leg.
Yikes.
All right.
I hate this game.
These goblins are running over here. I think they're just going to basically do a double move, and they're goblins with scimitars. I don't think they've noticed Lee, but they are coming in behind Linnell and Kuyaris. And as well, all of these guys are going to do this. So they just kind of pour into the area here. Let's see. 2, 2, 2. And he's coming up way behind. Okay. 2 of them are going to take short bow attacks at Linnell and Kuyaris, while the other ones are basically trying to get in at you with their scimitars out, but they're unaware of you. And Diendo, they're basically goblins just kind of running past your hiding spot, completely oblivious to you in the shadows and the rubble.
I'm still eating my popcorn.
Yep. Linnell, 14.
No.
Kuyaris, critical.
I'm going to
Damn
use expend a bardic inspiration to use cutting words.
What does that do?
It means I can subtract a number from their attack roll.
Doesn't a crit hit regardless?
Does a crit hit regardless?
Probably. Or it would be still very high,
I would
right?
have to take it up, and my inspiration is only a d6, isn't it?
If a crit hits in the wall.
I wouldn't do that right now.
Yep, that seems like a bad idea.
All right. An arrow glances your face for 10 piercing damage.
Yikes. Glances for 10? That's half my hit points.
Yeah, it's